Check it. Hey, what up, family? You are back for another video with DataZero. In this video, we're going to be looking at AMC, GME, SPY. We're also looking at Bitcoin, the cryptocurrency market. I start off with Bitcoin, Ethereum, looking at the cryptocurrency market and the new Bitcoin ETFs, giving technicals and predictions about that. Then we move into SPY and the overall market, and then we move into the meme stock, showing you guys what is going on the technical level and the fundamental level. This video is not financial advice and should not be taken as such. Please do your own research before buying any stock or crypto asset. With that being said, let's go ahead and hop in the charts, the facts, the data, and see what we have going on. All right, guys, what is up? You are back for another video with DataZero. In this video, we'll be looking at AMC, GME, and SPY. We're also going to be looking at Bitcoin and what is going on with Bitcoin in the cryptocurrency world as well. This video is not financial advice and should not be taken as such. Please do your own research and due diligence before buying any stock or crypto asset. With that being said, let's go and hop in the charts, the facts, the data, and see what we have going on. So the first thing I want to point out here, we have these levels of support here marked out. I did talk about this earlier in the live stream. The live stream was a little bit shorter than normal. I streamed the last hour of the market. You guys can see that we had a pullback or a support and resistance here to about 42.1, 42.2K, and we did come back down there, use that as support, bouncing back to the upside. Now, overall, what I think Bitcoin is probably going to end up doing is either sideways consolidate and or pull back, probably back down to at least 40K. Okay, so we could see a pullback to Bitcoin to 40K. If Bitcoin did go to 40K, it could be a potential entry for people that were looking to get in, but I don't think we're going to be going much lower than 40 to 38K in my opinion. I really don't think we're going to break 40, but you want to give yourself a little bit of room to play with. So 40, 38K would be that range where I say Bitcoin is most likely going to see a bounce and start moving back to the upside if we don't consolidate sideways. Okay, so we might even have a little bit of a downtrend towards that 40K and or consolidate sideways before breaking up past that 50K mark. 49.6 right now, 49 even, I do apologize, right now is where we're at for the all-time high this year on BTC. So I think we're going to see a little bit of more of a downtrend before moving back up to these ranges. This is the golden pocket for BTC up here at this 49K, and I do expect it to be broken, and that is the last major resistance that we have between here and then all-time highs. So I do expect it to be a major resistance and still also coming into play here near in the futures. As far as on-chain metrics, you guys can see there is a lot of money moving around on BTC. This is why Bitcoin is very, very good, because you can track the order flows. Everybody can see it. It is all public knowledge. And if you look at some of the order flows, you'll see that BTC is having a lot of money coming in and out. The investment firms, the ETFs, are getting money in. Grayscale loses 95 million, but the total inflows was at about $650 million for all of the ETFs for BTC. So they are seeing an overall positive inflow, but we are seeing some pullback in the Bitcoin ETFs, because you can see the Bitcoin ETF popped up to about $30 and then pulled back to a low of $24. And this is the BlackRock BTF right now, the chart that we're looking at. We only have a few days of price action, about 2 days of price action here. So it's really too early to tell what type of effect this will have on Bitcoin. But I think the long-term effect is going to be more money coming into BTC. Of course, some of this volatility that we're seeing right now is to be expected and to be appreciated, because the volatility is going to lead to higher prices, because volatility gives you price action. So I do think we are going to see an overall uptrend and continuation for the bull market for BTC. When in doubt, zoom out. Normally Bitcoin has about, it has one down year and then it has 3 green years. We can see that throughout history, this has been the case of all Bitcoin's time. So you can see 1 down year, 1, 2, 3 green years, 1 down year. It looks like we're going to have 1, 2, 3 green years as of always. You can see the last cycle we had that, and we are in a brand new cycle. It looks like we're going to have the same exact thing. So I'm expecting another candle, this one to close green for the yearly, and the next one to actually close green for the yearly, based off what we've seen in history. Of course, you also have this massive falling wedge that Bitcoin has been in as well. So I do think we are going to see a continuation to the upside on BTC, as a falling wedge is a bullish continuation pattern. So basically you have your falling wedge, which goes into an uptrend. Go ahead and zoom out, show you guys what I'm talking about here on BTC. So you have your uptrend, that goes into a falling wedge, and then that leads into another uptrend. And this is what we're seeing on BTC on the overall time frames. And of course, monthly MACD is green as well. All indications of a massive bull run in BTC's future. So that's what I'm looking at for Bitcoin in the overall cryptocurrency market. Ethereum is seeing some moves to the upside, making brand new highs. Now starting to see some pullback along with BTC, but this is something to keep in mind as well. It looks like altcoins are starting to gain some momentum as BTC makes higher prices. Now let's go ahead and go into SPY, show you guys what's going on with SPY. I will be dropping a weekly update prediction over this weekend, give you guys a prediction and outlook on what I think is going to be happening here next week. And do remember that the market is closed on Monday. So the market is closed Monday, Martin Luther King's Day, so the market will be closed. But I'm expecting the market to have an overall top out here at this 478.75 level. And why do I say that? Because if we go ahead and look at here on SPY, not only is this historical support and resistance highly used as resistance as the last top of the last bull run. I'll go ahead and zoom out and show you guys what I mean by that. But you can see that we had this last bull run here and hit a major top, and that is the same top that we're using as resistance now. And then, of course, if I zoom in, you guys can see that there are nothing but sell walls above us. There's nothing but sell walls above us here on SPY. If I go ahead and show you the 5-minute time frame, more sell walls. So you can see there's a lot, all these red things are sell walls, and this is basically where a lot of order books are parked for selling. So you'll experience a lot of selling pressure when you get to those levels. So I think this is going to act as major resistance. I don't think the market's going to be able to break above it, and I think what it's going to do is make an overall triple top type pattern. We've also seen this expanding megaphone type pattern. This is an inverse of an expanding megaphone because those normally descend down. These are ascending, so it's a little bit different than that bullish expanding megaphone. Now go ahead and make some trend lines for you guys so you guys can see, and I'll show you in reference, and I showed this here on the live stream, that this is actually a significant topping pattern that we've seen before on SPY, where price kind of expands out like this as it starts to bounce around. And then we can see we've actually seen this in history once before, and I'll go ahead and show you guys where we have seen this, where SPY had this pullback here. We have seen a very similar type structure where we start getting to that top level, and then, oh, that's not it. So let me go ahead and show you guys right here. And then go ahead and draw that trend line and draw this trend line. And you can see we've had this expanding megaphone type pattern before where we broke down, and then we're starting to have that same pattern right here where I think we're actually going to see a breakdown on SPY. We can see we had this bullish uptrend, then we went into this expanding megaphone type pattern here, and then went to the downside. Same thing here. Bullish uptrend, expanding megaphone, about to go to the upside. Also, you can see that SPY is constantly trying to break above that yellow line. That line is part of the macro bear flag. So if I go ahead and zoom out, you guys can see it's a macro bear flag and or ascending wedge marked here in the yellow lines. And I do think this is acting as major resistance. Trying to break above, can't. Trying to break above, can't. Trying to break above, can't. What's going to end up happening is you're going to see a major rejection from that level, which is going to take you down to about 468. And if we lose 468, you're going to see even more capitulation for SPY. And there are many gap fills under 468. I do believe SPY is actually setting up for a decent downtrend to the downside, in my personal opinion. And I will be tracking SPY throughout the rest of the week, giving you guys a weekly update and prediction on what type of candle I think we could see in my next update. This is probably going to be on Saturday, but as of right now, it is looking bearish for the overall week. And again, I will be giving you the weekly update and prediction with AMC and GME as well over this weekend. Now, as far as AMC, guys, I'm just going to give you guys 3 price targets for AMC, showing you guys price targets for the possible downside, and then we'll get into the technicals for AMC in my next video, and also the weekly outlook in my next video as well. But you can see massive amount of sell walls for AMC, absolute insanity on the sell walls we have to deal with for AMC. But I do have 3 price targets for you guys here right now: 4.48 cents, so $4.48, $4.42, and $4.38. This is based off the falling wedge that we are in right now currently, and the sell walls that we are seeing on AMC stock. But I do have good news for AMC, guys. It does look like short interest is increasing, so we're seeing short interest start to go up, and we're starting to see some of these numbers start to finally come down on those shares available to borrow, which is showing a possibility that liquidity is actually starting to dry up. Now, it's nowhere near where we need it to be. We want cost to borrow much higher. We want these numbers down to zero. We want shares available to short at least 100,000 or less. Okay, so we want it to as close to zero as possible, but 100,000 or less is better. Also, we can see the cost to borrow. It went almost all the way down to zero. You can see all of a sudden it's starting to spike up. This could be a bottom type scenario, especially if we see cost of borrow start to raise and short interest start to raise again on AMC. You definitely could see a potential bottom, as crazy as it sounds, on AMC stock. And I know people believe that AMC is just going to keep going down and down and down forever. AMC is actually approaching a bottom, believe it or not. It's approaching a near bottom. We are probably, I would say, weeks, if not days, within putting in the official bottom for AMC. But I'm going to let AMC stock show you guys that. I do think we are approaching it. That's why people are saying, well, why don't you say it's going to go down to $3 or $2 like everyone else? I don't think it's going to go to $3. I actually don't think it's going to go to $3 at all. And I'm officially stating this in this video. I do not think AMC is going to be able to reach $3. And if it did, I believe that shorts would cover around those ranges of $2 to $3. The rest of the short interest would cover, and you would see a pop to the upside. I don't believe we're going to see $3. In my personal opinion on an AMC, based off the technicals that I'm seeing now, we're most likely going to do this. Come down to about $4.42 and then get a bounce. That's most likely what we're going to see on AMC in my personal opinion. So a possible bottom for me is that $4.42 level. We also have $4.38 and the current bottom of $4.48. This is all within about a 15-cent range. I do believe we are going to stay in that range and possibly bottom out here, especially if we don't get any more dilution, and especially what we're seeing based off of the statistics of the RSI on the macro time frame. So if we go ahead and, when in doubt, zoom out, you can see that every time RSI gets this low, it's at 21 right now. Every time RSI gets this low, we have a massive rally. So you can see RSI got that low here and it got that low here. Well, what happened here? You've seen that massive rally to the upside. RSI also got down that low here. You can see it's at 18. Well, what happened when RSI went to 18? We had this massive rally here. These are all signs of a possible bottom for AMC stock. And again, this is why I believe that we will not be seeing sub $3 in my personal opinion. So I don't believe it's going to go under $3 in my personal opinion. I know there's people with $2 price targets out there and stuff like that. I don't think that's going to be happening in my personal opinion. I really think we are going to put in this bottom around the $4.38 mark to $4.42 mark. So that's what we're looking at for AMC stock. Let's go ahead and go into GME and wrap up this video. I'm going to do GME a little bit more quickly than normal. GME has multiple gap fills to the upside, okay? Also, I believe I talked about this potentially happening on GME, where we see this falling wedge and it kind of has to ride this line, this top line a little bit before getting a pop to the upside. That is unfortunately what we're seeing on GameStop stock. I didn't want this to happen, but it is something that I talked about in the live stream. You guys can go ahead and look at the live stream. I don't know exactly what time it was. It was on Thursday. You guys can check that out for yourself if you like, if you want the receipts. I do not have the clip, but I talked about where we could break out of the wedge and then ride this down. This is what we're seeing on GME stock. So I do believe we are going to get a recovery for GameStop, but not until we start using this level as support. Basically, what I think it's going to be a rapid recovery. It's probably going to be on Tuesday or Wednesday when the stock market opens back up. And then, of course, on the macro on GME, I believe that we're breaking out of a falling wedge. I believe that this $11.83 level is going to be the bottom, and it is not going to be going lower than that. And I believe GME is actually on the precipice of ending this overall downtrend that you've seen from this peak here and going back into another euphoria stage rally based off the market psychology chart. If you go ahead and look at the market psychology chart, you guys can check that out for yourself as well. And I talk extensively on that. I believe we're exiting the depression phase and actually leaving this phase right here. I believe we're right here on the bottom of the depression phase, the second bottom of the depression phase. So you have this V-shaped recovery, then you pull back and then you bounce up. I believe that's what this is right here, that V-shaped recovery. You pull back, and I believe we're actually about to bounce back up and go into another uptrend. Also, based off the MACD on the bigger time frames as well. That's what we're looking at on the monthly MACD. You can see this was all red during this downtrend. It's finally starting to curl up and start to and if we could start getting green candles, that's going to show you guys that bullish momentum has fully flipped, especially once we do get those green candles. But you can see how much it has curled up. MACD clearly curling up, showing bullish momentum starting to build. But guys, this is what I'm looking at for GME and AMC stock, as well as Bitcoin and cryptocurrency in the overall stock market. If you found this video informative and you want to see more videos like this, all you have to do is drop a like, leave a comment, and press subscribe to get more data like this each and every day. And as always, y'all, have fun, stay safe, make money. Peace out. All right, guys, that was the video. If you found it informative, go ahead and drop a like and press subscribe for more content like this. And remember, you can check me out on Twitter and Discord for even more DataZero updates. I also have a channel on Rumble as well. You guys can check me out there for more video updates for AMC, GME, SPY, Bitcoin, and much, much more. With that being said, go ahead and drop a like, press subscribe, and as always, y'all, have fun, stay safe, make money. Peace out.